You just amble all in?
It's just unbelievable.
Is that what you do?
What a
Just amble?
cute.
We're supposed to be here.
I'm afraid they'll send us a bill. Here you go. You doing all right?
We are live.
We got enough chairs out here. We got to bring some.
Says
Oh, we got
library
plenty.
air
Just-
quality
they're all
meeting
scattered.
6 to 8.
Well, it's just.
Oh, yoga.
Oh, yeah.
No, we want.
Blair here today.
This is our seventh year.
I don't mean. You're not.
Well, they won't let us quit. Maybe it's. Back there.
We got any?
Chairs.
We got any?
It's already been around. I was probably decided, I thought y'all were gonna send me a bill.
You signed up for it. You sent it.
She got the skulls and finish the improvements we tend to be.
I can say
Students, we can help.
Somebody want to get approval with them.
That's what we get people that we.
Well, I do.
I think you do.
So one of the things is.
Yes.
Okay.
I just spelled it wrong.
Okay. Those are just some. What you see.
See the.
Oh.
See the relationship.
And then they're not all kind of like.
What you saying?
Different things. So, I mean, you fix like, I mean, kind of like, I look at, what about that? Like, looks like a new sign or something.
You know, the cut.
It's like them saying yes.
I'm so proud.
Okay, well, I mean, I thought that would be like $3,000 something a month or whatever.
And I was like, after we did. Now, I will be young forever.
Yeah.
But I got some rollerblades,
Yeah.
sawing, and a new bike.
That's
a real
money.
Well, let's keep telling me you're not 16. Remember, you're not 16.
We're streaming already.
Wes is, he really wants to try your bike.
Already, yes.
He really wants to try
We're
your
gonna
bike.
wait for Chris. Chris gonna be.
He's very, very. He would like that. And he'll go.
Okay, here we go. Linda's gonna open us with pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you for attending the February meeting of the Calvert City Council. There's Chris. We have everyone present now. They're having an approval for the minutes that were distributed for the January 8th meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Have a second? Second. Got a second, all in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you. Tonight we have some visitors, several visitors tonight. And so we're going to have a update on a meeting, a public information meetings to take place tomorrow. So
Ready for me?
yes, yes. You got that one? All right.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Hi, everybody. So I am Dr. Sarah Taft. I'm the acting director at US EPA's Environmental Protection Agency's Air and Radiation Division in Region 4. So we're out of Atlanta, Georgia, but we cover Kentucky. I also want to introduce my colleagues here with me. We've got two folks from the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection, Amanda LaFleur and Michael Kennedy. And then I have my colleague also with me from EPA, Janae. So just quickly, just wanted to talk to you about the recent air monitoring studies that we did and the evaluations of the data collected by my staff. So we, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the Commonwealth are working together to ensure protection of human health across Kentucky, specifically right here in Calvert City. We completed a monitoring study for toxic air pollution near the Calvert City Industrial Complex and found elevated levels of volatile organic compounds, what we call them VOCs, including ethylene dioxide, or EDC, is what's for short. So ethylene dioxide, or EDC, is a man-made chemical and is not found naturally in the environment. It's primarily used in industrial processes to produce chemicals such as vinyl chloride, or PVC solvents and other chemicals. According to our 2020 National Emissions Inventory, there's 3 facilities here in Marshall County that emit EDC in 2020, the most recent year that we did the inventory. The majority of the EDC emissions in Calvert City are from Westlake Vinyl's facility. So the levels identified at 2 of our Calvert City air monitoring sites located closer to that industrial complex are estimated to result in elevated chronic or long-term cancer risks over a 70-year lifetime of continuous exposure. So what that means is that 70 years lifetime continuous exposure, being exposed to that air pollution for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 70 years. So these levels identified in the Calvert City Industrial Complex are at or above the top range of risk that we at EPA use to protect people from the toxic air pollutions. So main message for you all tonight is that tomorrow evening, myself and my technical experts, the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection and the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry will be going over the details of the monitoring and the assessment. And we just encourage you all to join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. At the Calvert City Library, just a couple doors down. If you can't come in person, we have a press release that we've given on our site. Happy to give you that link to our site. And we will have a Zoom link that you can attend the meeting virtually, and we will be able to take questions virtually over on Zoom. So that's it for me tonight. I just ask that you join us tomorrow at the Calvert City Library for more information. We'll have a longer time to go over the details, show you the specifics, and happy to take some limited questions, but that's it for me tonight.
I've got one for you. How late can we register for the Zoom link? Is there a cutoff?
Nope, there's no cutoff. Yeah, you can log on.
Okay.
Just have to log on to the link. You don't have to register.
Anybody have any counsel? Anyone have any questions? I mean, obviously the information is going to be dealt with in detail tomorrow night. But has anybody got a question about the public information session tomorrow or limited questions overall?
Is that building gonna be large enough for the crowd?
Well,
And what happens if it's not?
I don't know how to gauge the crowd, Bobby. I mean, they've arranged for the location. I don't know what the seating is in there.
It's not much.
Probably 40 people.
That's what I would guess too. 40 or so.
It wouldn't be better to move yoga to the library and the meeting to the exhibit center. Yeah, my only worry would be making sure everybody knows, since we put it in the press release for the last week or so.
And it
That it
is
would
right
get-
beside each other. They're buildings.
They are, okay, yeah, as long as we can,
For at least 3 weeks. It's gonna be a lot of-
Right.
And I talked to Sarah too, and we have chairs, so extra chairs we can bring over. Sarah is the director of the library.
Yep.
Do you have a comment?
I don't, but I can give you my info.
I needed to.
Okay, sure, yeah, me too.
Okay.
All of a sudden I realized you're not the person I've been talking to.
Yeah, I'll be here today and tomorrow.
I'm Lloyd Ford, Blake News.
Okay, they will.
I'm Bobby Faust. I'm a freelancer.
She's missed you.
Okay, good
Don't let
to
her-
know,
don't let her
good to
get-
know.
don't let her
Awesome.
get-
Is there any other questions besides, plan A and plan B? I mean, I don't know how to assess if the turnout's gonna overwhelm that library or not. I don't know for sure that Region 4 really has an answer for what we can do, but we do have the city available except for one scheduled activity, which is city sponsored. So maybe we need to have some more discussions on that tomorrow. I don't know how we're gonna, how we could get you insight on whether that was gonna be sufficient or not. But it is a Zoom meeting availability, okay? So we do relocate, we're gonna have to make sure we got good connectivity. That's a concern. Okay. Guess that's it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Oh, that's fine. Whenever I heard it too, I thought.
Okay.
Like, all my questions. I know you.
I've got a bunch too.
Wow. Yes, yes. What? Judge?
No, I'm with EPA.
Yes, sure.
Public
We have
relations.
3 fiscal board members here tonight, myself, Commissioner Collins, and Barrett. And because that would constitute a forum, if any business is discussed, I want to advise, we're only here to observe. We cannot make any comments on any issues or discuss it with anyone or amongst ourselves.
Okay, I want to repeat that to make sure we get that on video good. So Judge is here, Judge Spraggs is here, and he's got some members of the fiscal court here, and they're here as observers only, and they're not going to take any business action. So just let that be known up front. They're here, just observe and take on. Proud to have all you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming up. And we're getting ready to proceed, I think, in just a moment. So Dr. Taft gets done.
Working on.
All right.
on details. Oh, dear.
Okay. Some of the hazards of having a kind of smaller conference room to conduct these meetings in, so we get caught up on some sidebars every now and then. All right. And if anybody's got any insight or recommendation for changing venue, we can get a hold of it. Yes,
The Arts and Library said they have seating for 72.
72.
They are willing to stay at the end of the meeting tomorrow, and they are willing to open the gates into the staff area of the library.
Okay.
Which they thought would give us double the space. Now, the people in the staff area are not gonna have chairs, they're gonna be standing.
Okay,
And then in the very last meeting we had, there was the discussion of the QR code. So that individuals could come in and just immediately scan on their phones if there wasn't gonna be seating availability for them to take that and move somewhere else. So maybe we could still have the meeting at the library with
Right.
that space. People could scan the QR code if you wanted to have seating for them, just go sit down somewhere.
okay.
We
And
have the library reserved in the middle of the day to set up equipment and sort of test everything. And so changing at the last minute, we don't get access to that room until 5:30. And the
Right.
meeting's supposed to be at 6, so to change everything at the last minute would be really hard.
I agree. And that's something logistically. And I'd forgot about the possibility of opening up. And again, this is Region 4 is having a public meeting. And of course, Calvert City wants to facilitate it to make sure our citizens, have ample opportunity to understand the issues at hand. So it sounds like the venue's going to be good. And there is a plan B and probably a plan C. So that sounds very, very good. Thank you.
Appreciate that. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay. Well, looking at the agenda, old business, we don't have anything particularly out there that's called out in specific. There is a generator committee is not prepared for a report tonight. Okay. Anybody have any old business that they'd like to pick up from the meeting minutes or anything before? No? Okay, new business. We just got a big new business for the partnership update. And hope everybody takes time to come tomorrow and listen to these issues. They get pretty technical pretty quick, and I look forward to learning more about them. Quite a bunch. We can go right into projects update mode if we want to. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. We're still waiting at this point in time for the fire department's new truck. It has been ordered. We don't have an update report tonight, although it's supposed to be in sometime this month, is what we were told originally. So that's where we stand on that one. Brad is doing some work. They've been doing work on our paving streets, working on some drainage that had to be taken care of on Tiffany, Gilbertsville Highway on doing some work on 15th, weren't you? And we've got some we're gonna start work on 10th and start getting it moving forward. We've got some of our footwork out of the way, so it's getting close to this. Then be able to start working on clearing and working on the drainage. We will, all the projects that were started that were not completed, paving will be picked up again when the plants open back up this spring, and then we'll complete those. They did complete the paving for the parking lot, and they completed for 6th Avenue. We bids are going out, or requests for proposals or bids have gone out to the newspaper for our mowing for this coming year. That mowing season runs from April 1 until March 31st. So the current year's mowing will expire next month. But we hope that our bids are due back in on the 5th of March. So we'll have, we should know who our we'll be contracting with by the time the meeting, next month's meeting. So we'll be able to give you some updates on that. We're working with Miracle for the 2 shades down here at the ball field. We've got a contractor. We'll say they're out of Florida. We're gonna send the shades down there for them to reproduce some new ones, but they need the old shades so they can actually get the exact measurements. They didn't want to make them without actually having a chance to look the old ones over, because they did not produce the original ones to begin with, and so therefore they want to see the old ones. And so we've got getting the shipping information in so that we can send those off here this week or first next. That being said, we've also started working on budget for this year. Parks Board had a meeting last week prior to my demise. So, and we had a chance to get started on what they wanted to look at as far as projects goes. And so we're working on those currently to get cost estimates. So we're working on budget. Hopefully we would like to be able to present, I actually would like to present in April, sometime late April, but, we'll see how that plays out. So if you have anything on your mind about projects for this year, please let me know so I can include that, take a look into it and, follow up. That way we're not having to rework the budget in the middle of the year if we don't have to. Oh, we had a snag, just FYI, we've hit a snag on the, doors. The contractor, has real problems with manpower and is not gonna be able to have the manpower that he needs to complete the project. And so he's asking to, well, he's actually asking to let it go. Because we've not paid him anything and they've never started the project other than making measurements and stuff of that nature. So, we're probably going to rebid that project. I'm waiting on HDR they're gonna be, handling our bid for the bathrooms. So that's actually moving as well. On the TAP fund, all the paperwork that they requested, we've submitted. And we're still waiting for the state to come back and say, and they're off. So that's
That
what we're
fund
waiting
is
on.
the last segment of the bike trail.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Transportation Alternative Program, which is a multi-use trail over on Long Valley Road. So we're waiting to hear back from them because we can't move forward. If we move forward without their approval, then it's out of our pocket. And they won't reimburse.
Sure,
So,
not gonna wait this long and come away empty handed. Good grief. So how many miles? How long of a segment is that? You remember?
what's that?
The extra segment we're putting in, how long is that segment?
From Fifth Avenue on down to,
Yep.
Copperwood. It's not that far.
No, it's less than two. It's what mile? Is it even a mile? The last link, we want it. Yeah, something like that. So COVID played into it, no doubt, but anxiously awaiting that. So when we get the go, then
The paperwork's ready to go.
the design is
That's
done,
okay.
the acquisitions, what's the status of the land acquisition?
That's done.
That's done.
We got deeds.
So we need to get the point and then we'll just put her out for bid and go.
We'll put it out for bid. That's correct. We may have to move a couple of lines ourselves. Utility lines as far as water goes, but because of the changing of the head walls for the drainage. Because of the lengthening of the path in that area. And if we do that, then that money's moved forward into the actual construction phase.
Okay.
Where does that last leg of the trail actually end? I know it starts at the end of Fifth Avenue, but where does it actually connect to the?
It stops at the Copper Road property,
At the what?
Copper Road property.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to tell you where that is, but it's they own that corner. That little bit of a corner down there,
Ford
on 62 and, Long Valley Road.
Okay.
It's the southernmost lot of that. And it had been.
So
Fort
we will stop there and part of the state is gonna pick up and make that connection from the Copper Road property when they do this new interchange. We've gotten commitment on that from them on that, so.
Yeah. So what Lloyd says is true, and then the final connection is going to be in alignment with what the Highway Transportation Cabinet's going to do out at Highway 62. That way you don't have.
Well, the whole thing of it is, Lloyd, to answer your question.
Well, that may be another, I don't know, Shirley, how long do we figure miles per foot?
That's about 4 years a mile.
Or, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
they say we could go ahead and build it if we wanted to, but they're gonna tear it out. When they start that, so they said they would take it from there, and I figured it was better and less costly to our citizens to not build that section.
It's still gonna provide some safety there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're still gonna cross it and head on over to the
Are
connection.
they putting a roundabout in there, that
You'd have to talk to the state.
There hasn't been an announcement
They
on
haven't
that.
made an announcement that I know of.
So you all don't know.
They're still sneaking around.
Oh, no. No, they had the public meeting and Bobby,
They
I
had a
haven't
public
heard,
meeting, yeah.
I haven't heard if they've made a final or not. But hopefully we'll have a conversation very soon. All right. So is that it for projects?
Brad, am I forgetting anything?
That's all I'm thinking.
That's all I can think
So
of.
again, it's getting about the time of year we start taking a look at how well we did against budget and how we came in. And so some of those other projects that we had at workshop last year, start thinking council, start thinking about things. You know, we're next meeting, we'll give an update for how we're doing against spending. Okay. And then we'll see if there's some other stuff that maybe we didn't put in the budget that we didn't execute that we can go through and try to get in before the end of the fiscal year, kind of meet at zero. So we'll have some communications going on about, where we're at, and start taking a look at some of those. That's for next meeting. Okay. There's some things we talked about. I know shade at the splash pad and maybe more permanent solution that wasn't really in the budget. And we're looking at the permanent thing. I think that the Parks Board's looked and done some visioning on that. So that might be one. We talked about, out around at the retention basin, doing some amenities out there, trying to get some trails and stuff, plantings, whatever. It looks pretty stark out there right now. Good job, Brad. You got grass going out there despite the drought and the cold and everything. So the grass is growing some, but we need to maybe be able to do some improvements on that. It'd have to change some out
We
of
got
around.
plans to reseed it again, don't we? To overseed it again.
But I wasn't the biggest proponent of that project, but we did it, and I think it's been a good one. I think we've saved some residents some real problems, probably 2 or 3 different occasions. That we've had some of these tremendous torrential rainfalls, I believe, would have resulted in some problems. So I think it's bearing out well. And Tim, you are going to get a truck, right?
That's what they're telling me.
All right, okay. You got anything else on projects, John?
Most of that's all I've got.
All right, Blair, you want to do I skipped you. I'll come back to you. No, you're ready to go now.
Well, I guess first, I'll start off with that we are a bicycle friendly community, which is awesome.
How many of them are there in the state? What?
There's 3.
3 in the
There you
state.
go.
Yes, Lexington, Louisville, and Calvert City. So, yeah. Louisville's about 600,000, like 300, right, 500. So,
Gotta make it up an ego.
John and I applied for that in October, I think. Just took a day and just did it, and thankful for him. But this is a collective of your all's vision for the city and the decision making that you made leads up to this. Huge, because people that are cyclists, they go to this website and they look for places to ride.
So tell us more about the organization that bestowed that on us. You can do it. Come on. Oh, is that a bad question?
No, it's not. They're an advocacy group that just promotes safe riding for cyclists, basically. So it's all about looking at laws and ordinances that encourage use on or multi-use for cyclists, and then also any kind of new legislation or new transportation that it all includes either a pedestrian or cyclist vision, I guess, in that. So it's awesome. It is.
So we're
And you don't realize how big of a deal this is, because when I applied for it, Keith Lovin, who is he was over the transportation cabinet, he's retired since, but he said, you apply for this and you might get like some awards or recognition. And he called me whenever he saw it. He was like, I can't believe you got a bronze on the first try.
well,
Because that just doesn't happen. So anyway, that's awesome. Other than that, on this, yes. We are going to get a plaque that we can put in our parks. So when it comes in, I talked to Bradley. He's going to help me put that up. And then we have to kind of do like an unveiling. And then they encourage to have like a bike ride. So the mayor has agreed to lead a bike ride. Thank you.
now my eyes are wide. I did agree to something. Okay.
You did. So he's gonna lead a bike ride afterwards, but that
By the
date
way.
hasn't been set yet. So once I figure,
No matter what the weather,
yeah, rain or shine. we're
rain or
gonna-
shine, we're gonna do it.
That's right. That's right. Yoga has been going great. They had 46 at the last class. And I've heard really nothing but great things. So that's good. Food Truck Friday, I've started collecting those registration forms. So if you have a food truck, we do have a form to fill out here at City Hall that they need to complete. Try and make sure all of them get it filled out before they even start Food Truck Fridays.
When's it gonna start?
May 3rd.
May 3rd.
What is it? Yeah, May 3rd.
And that's
Yeah.
lunch, right?
Lunch,
Okay.
yes. So May 3rd. Kites Over Calvert is May 4th. And then you've got the Coffee and Chocolate Festival, which is coming up on March the 2nd and the 3rd. So it's 2 days this year. Last year it was 1 day and we had like 3,000 people. It was insane. So 2 days spread out. Kevin knows he was working the booth. Yeah, handing out hot chocolate. You too. Well, anyway, so we'll be doing the hot chocolate again this year. So I'll be sending out a sign up sheet for y'all to help. And then there is a new event that we're kind of putting out there. Kate is and us, me, city, all of us. It's called Kids Art in the Park, and it's going to be June 15th, probably in this week sometime. I'll send it out, but it is all about kids. So the vendors that will sign up are going to be kids. Like if you know a child that has that's an entrepreneur that sells a product. The parents can obviously be there to help, but the kid is going to be the selling. So jewelry, cups, whatever it is. Then we'll have it's kind of a tie-in together with the kids art, the kids music in the park. So the kids will also be performing too. We're doing it at Old Park, a little bit different than normal, but we rarely use Old Park and it's shaded and I think it's a good spot for kids.
What's the date?
June 15th. So if you know any kids that are selling or that are young entrepreneurs,
So anybody who finds out about it, get busy, start making stuff, right?
that's right. They got a couple of months. Yeah. And then just encouraging anyone to be a part of it. The library's already like, yeah, we're doing it. We're here to help. And then of course, CADA, and lots of art projects, community art projects. So that's exciting. And then Jean, I think, and I will be going to the Tennessee Riverline Summit, February 25th through the 28th. So that should be exciting. Too.
Okay.
I think that's it.
That's a lot.
But
Back to the bicycle thing. I encountered a person from Northern Kentucky and they knew Calvert City and they knew Marshall County. I think their son was on a mountain bike team in Northern Kentucky. I forget which community, but they know us down here because of that. They've been down here for a state tournament. I think they recently hosted a state tournament. So the bicycle thing is getting some wheels under it. And I think it'll get better and bigger. Seems to be a growing sport. I love the fact that we've hosted the Tennessee here. We missed the Kentucky, didn't we? Yeah. No, that's right. We missed 1 year at Kentucky. That's right. So that's good news. And all the parents have to travel down here for the fishing and the bicycle riding. I tell them, well, that's good. We know the way to Rupp Arena. So welcome to the Jackson Purchase area. Come on down. Don't have much sympathy for my part. Okay. At this time, we'll go through department reports. Tim's here, but we hadn't talked to the fire department or the police department yet. So we'll leave Tim for the last. So who's gonna speak for water? Dan, you got a water report?
Not really, Dean, but the only thing I wanted to mention is one of our employees passed another one of their licenses, and I'd like for you all to support Glenn Knight in his accomplishment there. And he's worked on it for a while, and so
That's good.
got it done and got it behind him. So,
We got-
he's upgrading for him and for us.
That's right. Absolutely. Love the fact that our we've been taking some tests recently. So that's what, the fourth one lately. We've had some new water department employees, and I guess that the interest has kind of been contagious, and some of our more longer existing employees are packing it in too. So that's what we need. Small town water districts. Chief Davis is that back here hiding. I'm not used to not being able to see Chief Davis. What's going on, Chief?
Medical calls is the most we're doing right now. We've had 2 fire runs, they've been assisted. Departments. Look at that and say, hey, I think we're doing something right here, keep the fire down, or is it gonna be a big one and light us in the, you know what, one of these days? We are in the process, of I don't know if the team was signed out to Raleigh, but we are trying to get more people involved. We do have a couple of the people that have been here before that are very close to being certified have come to us and asked to come back. I'm going to give them a second chance. I think everybody deserves a second chance. And we did tell them that they will be under a microscope.
Microscope
And they understand that. So
underneath the tack line.
you know, they say they've grown up and know they have to take more responsibility with their life and stuff, so we're giving them another chance. We've got some people doing some training tonight that should put them over their limit, so they should be certified. I think right now, the ones we've got, that'll put us, everybody's certified, but 3 people. So we're good on that.
Very good. I think that every one of the volunteer agencies in the county, and I'd say across the Commonwealth, have a hard time keeping recruits. You don't have to be in it very long before you realize it's a lot like work.
And I'll say the last 5 fires that we have been involved in, it's took as many as 4 departments to get enough people to fight it properly and what we have to do.
So
We're not the only ones that's hurting for people. All the other departments in the county are hurting too. So that's why we have the mutual aid to cover this and everything.
People do you have in?
Right now, there is 15 minutes. We want to try to get to 20 or 25.
So that's a countywide emphasis. I mean, it's the training is no joke. The training is very serious. I mean, it's life safety for the firefighters and making sure that the households are well protected. So it's pretty serious, and it's professional training with certified instructors. You can get it through the fire commission, and it's hard work, but it's good work. It's a sense of camaraderie. And I think that we have a long history. I think all the departments in the county, but Calvert City especially, of bringing younger folks in, and they get to work with the equipment and learn new things they simply haven't ever been exposed to. And it just takes a fair amount of time, but I think it's a job well worth it. So anything, publicity wise, I like the sign down there. I think that's probably why you had some of the former people come back. They said, hey, Calvert City needs us, and they've already put in some time, so they're coming back. So good work on that.
If you haven't seen the sign, it says help wanted, odd hours, low pay, but beautiful trucks.
And they are that. I'm not going to put Tim on the spot there, but Tim is working with fire chiefs on some of the fire channel frequency issues, and Greg's working with him to try to work on some agreements so we can get a mutual agreements going forward. So just make that real brief. So working on that issue. Chief Cannon, you'll come forward.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. February 1st of this year, Robert West retired from the department. Served over 21 years. His first day was on September 16th of 2002. That was when he went to the police academy in Richmond. Trained there, learned the skills to become a police officer, and on December 30th, 2002, he was sworn in by Judge Faust here. And he actually graduated the academy on January 24th, 2003, and then went through a training program and was schooled on how to patrol and look for violators and stuff. And while he was a police officer, I think he probably patrolled more miles than just about anyone else here. I was looking at some of the monthly automotives, and he was averaging anywhere between 18 and 2,200 miles a month patrolling our city, shaking doors, looking at everybody, seeing who's doing what, making arrests when needed, giving out tickets when needed. They did a really good job. And he was promoted to sergeant on September the 1st of 2010. And he was a sergeant until April 21st, 2011. That's when he was promoted to captain. So he was a sergeant a little less than a year before he was promoted to captain, and he retired as captain. So he served the city, he served the citizens, and he served all the society that passed through here, all the visitors that we have come for different events, whether it's fishing or just traveling through. And we're proud of him. We're happy that he's able to retire, and we wish him and his family the best. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Chief. Who am I leaving out? Brad? We're gonna do to Brad.
You in there? I was gonna talk.
Brad, I haven't put you on the spot. What's Public Works doing? John kind of steals your thunder a little bit because you do so much around, but what's going on? Christmas trees down. We had a delay in removing Christmas, but we got that taken care of.
Like John
Well, the
said,
truck was broken. We couldn't get it out.
Been working on some drainage areas, drainage issues we've got going on. Of course, we're trying to plan out the new soccer field down here and relocate some, when the weather permits. Also, we've, addressed a few issues we had. We didn't know what they were, but we got there, but, another place there. Water leak, turned out to be a water leak to the seat, but, hopefully we can get her fixed up as soon as the weather dries up. We're about to tear in the 10th Avenue. It'll be a prolonged project. We'll shut it down, quite a bit, and, we'll try to reopen it if the roadway is safe to do so. But, we've got lots of clearing to do and ditching to do. Try to widen it places. Try to better fix it. It's still gonna drain, probably flood the roadway down there. I don't see any way other than just let it do that. It's not dangerous. It's just basically a floodway. So without creating a more dangerous area, we're just gonna try to help it drain a little better and hopefully minimize flooding. That's it. Then hopefully we can get that old road paved up in good shape. It's been in bad shape since I've been here. We're planning on getting it up into good shape this year. So. I think anything else we've got really going on right now, other than maintenance on bad days. Trying to get ready for the spring grass season to start.
All right. You get a short break. How's the trash pickup doing with the containers?
It's really been going pretty good. We get some complaints, but overall, everybody understands where we're headed, and it's really going pretty good.
Putting new containers at locations you didn't expect to? All right, love to hear it.
Containers. People are starting to adapt to the new way.
Yeah.
Overall, it's really going better than I expected.
Well, that's good news. But before we go into airport's last, so keep it, all right. You want to?
Yes, I have a new hire. Her name is Jordan Scholler, and she started today.
Today's your first day?
Today was her first day, yeah. So we're excited. I think she's going to be great.
Deputy clerk.
She's, yeah, deputy clerk.
Okay.
Where's she from? Where's she from?
She lives in Aurora.
So she had a good level of experience, been around in some different functionalities and role, HR, cost accounting for some businesses. Did she have some banking on that resume?
She did.
A little bit of banking on her resume.
She's pretty well rounded.
Well-rounded individual is how many total resumes submitted for that? Was it like a dozen?
Something like that.
About a dozen and
We'll interview 4.
yeah.
Yep.
So if you get a chance, come by and meet Jordan.
Combined meter.
All right. Okay, last but not least, how about an airport? Calvert City International update.
Typically in our FAA world, Federal Aviation Administration.
Thank you. Keep those acronyms straight.
The second quarter of their fiscal year is the time when we negotiate with them grant applications, scope and fee. We're in the middle of that for the 3 projects that we expect to do this summer. The fence project, the hangar site prep, and the Happy Reel, the approach light system.
Happy Real?
Happy Reel.
I thought you were going to announce some kind of bourbon distillery. He's talking like,
Real Happy's.
okay.
So that's going as expected. We first negotiate scope and fee with the state, and then they send it on to the FAA for their approval and infinite wisdom. The other item I have is that, actually, I have 2 other items. State budget, on the aviation side, the only thing we watch and care about. We've been told that there's a definite consensus between the governor's proposed budget and the state and the legislature's budget. And this year, they're going to award each airport, 54 airports in the state, $200,000 to be used for, the best part of this news is that money can also be used for operations and maintenance and not just capital projects. So using a pencil, I would expect that you would take consideration for that during the budget process. But it looks like those checks, if it goes according to the previous time this happened, checks were distributed in September of the fiscal year. So July is the first fiscal month. They're expecting to make distribution of funds in August or September. So something to look forward to. And last but not least, on February 21st, there's a lady in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, that she and I will be celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary.
50.
Yeah, just thought everybody ought to know.
Hey, that's gonna be my 40th birthday.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, I got you by 10 years.
That's pretty funny.
And that's all I have.
50.
That's awesome.
All right. You flying anywhere?
She was 12.
Are you flying anywhere?
No, actually, we've postponed the celebration until May. We're
Okay.
going to the Grand Canyon.
All right.
Oh, very nice.
And we were going to Vegas to see Carlos Santana.
Oh, great way to celebrate.
So anyways, no, none of you were invited.
Let's make that clear.
Friendship.
We understand.
Right, live me in Vegas.
Well, thank you for the update. Congratulations. May need some advice. Looking around the room, see if I've left anybody off of anything before we start going up to council. All right, okay, well, yes.
Southern Pride. Southern Pride is having trivia night every Thursday, and it is so much fun. So 6:30 every Thursday.
Is there a prize fee or is there a prize fee?
There's bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
For a week.
Okay.
Last month, he knows he's been bragging for the last 2 weeks.
Okay,
No, he's won the last 2 weeks.
that's, okay. All right. Chris, you got anything?
Just good to be Calvert City.
Well, glad you made it. Glad you made it. Traveling a little bit this evening?
I think I've lived in Louisville for the last 3 weeks.
Oh, no, welcome. to Calvert.
Memphis tomorrow. So
Oh,
I
well,
get to go deal with their city people.
good in between. Kevin, you got something? You good? Ralph? Nope. Jeremy?
I'm good.
You're good? Great. Nita? Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, without further, there's that time.
Make motion to adjourn.
We can make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
They got a second. All right.